I said, plug me in. I got stuff to talk about, damn it. I'll crawl out of my earbuds once a week to give you a show. That's what I do, folks. I do this show for the common man, for the people in despair. I bring this show into the world and I sell it everywhere. The simple truth lies waiting here, folks, for all of you to share. Hold on, I will take you there. Hey, what's happening, Mike Smith, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Well, you had to. You forced my hand. Well, we've been sitting here long enough, let's be honest, because it is far too... You know, it's funny. David Letterman is a hero of mine. He's a broadcasting legend. He's a genius. He's retiring, and I don't know why. He should just kind of talk forever. What the hell just happened? Oh, my God. Dudes, I'm not joking. Lily's sitting here in a tank top and shorts. She pulled her tank top out of her shorts, and candy flew out of her pants.
I've been looking for this.
Candy flew out of her pants. It's not a joke. It's not... I'm not even fucking around.
No.
No, bullshit. Don't even try to fucking fool me or anybody else. I'm not joking. A motherfucking jawbreaker flew out of her pants. That is the weirdest. Don't throw that away. We should auction that off. Let's put it in the Kickstarter tiers. Oh my God. Candy from Lily's pants. Because I'm not joking, dude. That just like, it sprung out fully formed. I've got a feeling, you know what I think? I think earlier this morning, Lily sprinkled some sugar into her shorts, and that's what happened as I arrived today with a fully formed jawbreaker just fucking waiting for me right there in her pants. Dude, she is wearing like boxer shorts and a tank top, and just it is just boobs and necklace right now. And then sure enough, she yanked up her tank top, not in a flashing way. She just you were kind of tugging it. You pulled it out of your boxers, and fucking candy flew out of your pants. Oh my Christ, dude, you are even sexier than everybody thought. Dude, if you got pants full of candy, how are you not out with everybody at this goddamn? How is the line not formed to the right and the left? You should be getting tag teamed. You should be getting double teamed. It should be fucking like, you know what? Because I'll tell you this. My name is Michael, and I've got a nickel. I've got a nickel shiny and new. And I'm going to find me a piece of candy in a stripper's pair of fucking boxer shorts. That's what I'm going to do. You hear me? You hear me? You're goddamn right. That's why I came to here with a pocket full of change, so I could search your pants for candy. That's why grandpas carry pockets full of change. And grandpas have hard candy in one pocket and grandpas have change in the other. You and I together are one old man.
Oh, good.
I got a pocket full of change. You got pants full of hard candy.
You're an old man, Jesus.
Well, you're totally hot, but the two of us together are like the master blaster of aged elderly people. That's who we are. Put us together and we combine ourselves into we're like old people with fucking pants full of hard candy and change. But our hips are still intact and she can shake her hips.
Barely.
Dude, this legend can still shake it. Let me tell you that about Lily Von Stupp. That's some secret stuff that I'm not supposed to know, but that I know. Folks, let's talk about my large gay following. Now, let's go ahead and put that on the table right now. Let's talk about gay people who love me, it's a prodigious following. I think I don't have any gay people who love me. I don't know. It seems weird. I have one. I have to tell you this story because it makes me laugh. Last week, I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Well, not Milwaukee technically. I was around Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Don't Google it. Or Google, you know what? Actually, Google around Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I bet I come up. I'll bet for some reason my face will come up. It's like, there I am. That's me around Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I wound up in a shop, and I can't say where, but there's a shop that I've gone to a few times with my friend Jill. And we go in there, and it's a specialty shop of some sort. I can't see. This sounded like something I wanted to tell the story of, but I can't. Whatever. I have to tell the story. I have to because it made me laugh. Jill always teases me that this guy likes me. And it not just likes me, but likes me. And I'm just like, stop that nonsense. Because he saw me when we stopped in there once. And folks, if you know anything about me, you know I like to talk to people. And you know I like to project my voice and I have some fun. And the thing is, I told her, I go, look, dude, every time we go there, she's like, he totally remembers you. And I go, he remembers us because we're amazing together. And look at you, you're fucking hot. Of course he remembers you. And she's like, no, he like remembers you. Like she goes, even when I come in here alone, he like kind of asks about you. And I'm like, yeah, because you're not complete without me. See, that's how I spin it, folks. I make it work perfectly. But she's like, no, man, this dude, he's into you. Trust me. And I'm like, I doubt it. Although I will tell you this, folks, I kind of know that maybe he is, but it's just like a thing. It's just, he's just like a nice guy and I'm a nice person and that's fine. So this time I was in Milwaukee and I hadn't been there in a while, and so we walked in. We went into the specialty shop, and he was very friendly to us. He knew us right away, and he started talking to us. And then another person came out of the back and remembered us from like fucking 8 months ago, which was crazy and weird. And it's like it makes me wonder if they just get zero customers in this fucking place that they remember us from 8 months ago. But who cares? But he starts talking to me, and it's, he may be like, Jill's like, oh dude, he's totally gay and he's got a thing for you, and I'm like, I don't think so. I think he just likes us and he's a friendly fella. But I sort of know. I mean, I kind of know, but who cares? But I thought I'd have a little bit of fun. So we were talking about something, and he was explaining something that they were selling. He said, oh, and he goes, and by the way, he goes, it has a copper patina that I find very appealing. And I said, copper patina is my drag queen name, and I'll thank you not to use it in public. And Jill looked at me, like with his face, and he literally like swallowed, and he goes, I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted. Hold on one second, I'm a little distracted. What were we talking about? And then we finished talking. We finished our transaction. We walked outside, and she looks at me and she goes, "Did you see what you did to him when you said that?" I go, "He was goofing around." She goes, "No, he was not." She goes, "Why would you do that? Why? I don't understand why you would do that." I go, "I was being funny. It's what I do everywhere." She goes, "I know, but you know that was going to do that." I go, "No, I don't. How do I know he's going to fucking lose his mind if I say something silly like that?" She goes, "You knew." And I'm like, "I didn't really know, no, but I mean, that's the same kind of thing I would say to anybody, really." And because come on, copper patina. Who the fuck uses copper patina in a goddamn conversation?
It's awesome.
Huh?
I want to
Take it, exactly. I'm not kidding. I may become a drag queen just to use the name Copper Patina.
I want to open a restaurant called the Copper Patina.
No kidding, right?
It's gorgeous.
It's perfect. So he said it, and I fucking ran with it, and that was fine in my heels and boa, and but I'm not kidding you. He froze. He kind of like stopped, and he hold on. What were we? Because he's at the register, and he's like, what were we talking about? I got a little distracted there. He went away for a second, and Jill's like, he was thinking of you as a drag queen person. Like you really got to him with that. I go, no, I didn't, but I kind of did, but I knew I did. But it was funny. Oh, I do have a pretty mouth. That can't be denied, folks. I used to have a much prettier mouth before I took a softball in it. But I mean, now it's like I get like a weird. Although it kind of gave me like a fullness in my lower lip that I can't deny. Nobody can deny it. Which nobody can deny. Oh, he's got a fullness to his lower lip. Oh, he's got a fullness to his lower lip. He's got a fullness to his lower lip, and nobody can deny. God damn it! All right. So literally, I just wanted to tell you that anecdote because it made me laugh. That the copper patina thing, and I was just, and because you know why? Because also what I said was fucking funny, and it made me laugh because I like being funny, folks. I don't know if you're aware of that. I enjoy being a funny person. You know who does not enjoy me being a funny person? Anybody else in the world. Because there's levels of funny persons. Let's go ahead and let's cover that right now. You out there, you're all nice and you're wonderful people. And you can be funny with your friends. You can be funny with your coworkers. And some of you are pretty sharp, and some of you you don't have a filter. Maybe you don't really care what you say. But I really don't care what I say a lot of the time. And that's not a good way to live, folks. It's not a good way to live. I mean, it's a fun way to live. It's totally awesome to just be it and just fucking spring yourself on everybody like a goddamn weirdo Jack in the Box. But I can tell you that nobody else is too fond of that. Because here's the thing. You can be funny, and then your friends can be funny, and then I will come along and I will say something funny and evil and awful, and you will all just go, oh my God, no. Why did you take it to that place? And I go, because that's the funny place. And you go, no, that's too funny of a place. Don't go to that place anymore. Copper patina, rein it in. Case in point, folks. And again, this isn't even, the buildup on this is ridiculous because what I said is not even, because you guys are used to listening to me and you think I'm funny. So this will just sound like me, like to you guys. But you have to think about it if you were a layman, if you were just like a person in the street, if you were someone who sort of knew me but didn't really get to see the real me. Case in point, the people at my work. Now, they sort of know me. Oh, I will tell you this. This happened. I talked about Zach on here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I went into work this week, and someone at work goes, hey, did they tell you that I delivered to Zach Galifianakis the other day, and he told me to tell you hello? And I went, oh, that's cool. And they were like, yeah. Like, he asked about you, and he told me to say hi. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. But they were just like, they were astonished because again, I'm fucking dopey Mike who delivers fucking ribs. That's it. You know, nobody has a fucking clue what else I do. But then every once in a while, I will be me, and it turns into a thing where they're all like, "Oh, you're that guy? Like, I didn't know you were that guy. I thought you were like quiet, unassuming." Because again, I'm Clark Kent most of the time at work, but eventually I'll turn into Superman, and then everybody just goes, "Holy fuck! What the hell? How did Superman get here?" And they're like, "Wait, has anybody seen Mike while Superman was here?" No, because my fucking mic clothes are off in the goddamn phone booth. It's happened a couple of times recently. You guys know my friend Jill. You know what? You guys know my girlfriend Jill. You guys know my lovely, beautiful friend Jill in Wisconsin, who's near Milwaukee. And there were many times that I was there last week where we sat out and we watched the sunset and saw the beautiful copper patina shine off of the beautiful lake. So, Lake Michigan. I think it was Lake Michigan. I think. Might have been Lake Milwaukee. Might have been Lake Minnetonka. I think it was Lake Minnetonka because I made her jump inside and purify herself. All right, so. And then she hopped on my motorcycle and we drove away. And then I had to ask Jerome for the password. I said, "What's the password, Onion Head?" And you know what's weird? You know what the password was? Onion Head. I mean, he had... I gave him the hint right when I yelled at him. "What's the password, Onion Head?" And he said, "Exactly. Yes, Onion Head is the password." Meanwhile, Jill was soaking wet on the back of a motorcycle, asking me why I'm arguing with Jerome and why he's holding a mirror. And then I said, "Jerome, bring me my hat." "Chili sauce?" All right, so anyway.
The name of the show.
I don't have the time for this. All right, so anyway. What time is it, folks? And it's appropriate I would bring that up now because it's like fucking 95 degrees right now. And let's talk about ice cream castles in the summertime. They would melt right here. Oh, how great would that be, ice cream castles? I would love it. I would absolutely love it. If there was an ice cream castle here right now, you know what I would say? What? Hallelujah. Oh, 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 oh. I want everybody on the floor. All right, so what if I just did Morris Day the entire fucking show?
Do it.
You know what? I can't do it for you guys, but I will. I promise you this: the rest of the show, I'm pressing my mustache. That's what I'm doing.
I'll hold a mirror for you.
You do that, please do. When you wear a dress like that, you got to shave before you leave the house, and I don't mean your legs. If anyone can tell me what movie that is from, I will send you Schmitty Comes Alive, the download. All right. I got to stop asking trivia questions every week because I don't.
Look it up.
Yeah, you can't look it up. No, you can't use the internet. You can't even use the internet to hear this show. In other words, if you're not in the room with me right now, you can't win this contest. Say again?
I already have it, but I could win.
You could win if you wanted to. Do me a favor, stand up and shake a Zagnut out of your pants. All right, so what the hell was I saying? Before
Buying candy at Wisconsin.
we were doing that.
Talking about
Well, I wasn't
yourself.
buying candy. I was buying something in a specialty shop.
Oh, I don't know.
And then I was somewhere else. I was talking about I was talking about how much of a fucking jagoff I am. That's exactly it. All right. When in doubt with this show, if I ever go where were we, just go fucking jagoff, and I go I'll know exactly where we were because every story I have is leading up to the fact that I am a dick. So I will show flashes of who I am at my work on occasion, and I've done that in the Temper Arena, which by the way is the worst corporate sponsorship you'll ever get for your hockey team. If you have the if they play in Temper Arena. Although I guess, you know what? If it's going to be an appropriate sport, hockey would be the one to be playing in Temper Arena because tempers will flare in a hockey game, folks. Let's talk about hockey for a second. Let's talk about the Chicago Blackhawks. Let's talk about the NHL. Shall we do that? No? I'll tell you this, dude. So the Blackhawks are fucking rampaging, as we all know. The Blackhawks are now back in the Western Conference Finals, and I'm excited about that. You're excited about that? Yes, we're all excited about that? Of course we are. But here's something I have to share with you, and this is going to sound terrible. It may reflect poorly on me, but maybe you will feel the same way, and then I will feel as if we are some sort of community, which was canceled this week. Not our community, the television show community. Our community has never been canceled. Our community is strong and bonding, and we will all link arms and cross America. Let's go. You know what? Let's do that. Let's call Ken, whatever the fuck his name is, and get him to do Schmitty's across America. We'll all link arms, and we'll be like a community across America. 40-year-old boy across America. I like that plan. Dude, why don't I just run across country and you guys follow me like Gump? That'll be genius. And then I'll fucking play ping pong with like a bunch of dudes in the army. And then is there any fucking invalids out there who want to be my friends? Dude, who's got magic legs? All right, so... I like shrimp. We like shrimp. Do you like shrimp, Lily? Lily likes
Not
shrimp.
really.
I know you're allergic to shellfish. You can't be my Bubba. Why aren't you my Bubba? I wanted you to be my Bubba.
Well, let's do something other than shrimp.
Does it have to rhyme with shrimp?
No.
Because I don't think there's anything else that rhymes with shrimp. Oh, dude, I fucking freaked out Jill. Should I tell that story? As long as we're talking about shrimp. Oh, I felt bad. Jill's pretty much game for like because she's Jill's from Wisconsin, and as I've mentioned, they have a lot of artisan shops there, and they eat a lot of venison and whatever the fuck. So she does that, and she likes coffee, and let's put it this way: she's a normal person. She likes real stuff. But I've told the story on here when I took her to sushi school, and she was totally like she became educated and loved it. She actually wound up liking sushi. So I took her to Katsuya a couple of months ago, and she actually loved it. Like because it's different than the other sushi I took her to. Because the other sushi I took her to was just kind of like pedestrian normal. But then she went to Katsuya, and she looked at me, and dude, her face was so great. She ate black snapper, and she looked at me, and she smiled, and she's just like, I think I really like sushi now. And I'm like, yes, awesome, so great. Well, I may have pushed the envelope a little bit on that, folks. Because when we went to the Magic Castle, she was in town. And then we went to sushi as well. I forgot to mention this. And I said, oh my God, there's stuff that you're going to try. And she's like, awesome, I can't wait. And so we sat down, and Chef Ken was our wonderful chef in Katsuya. I'm a huge fan. Chef Tai and Chef Ken are my two favorite chefs. Yes, that's the level of life I lead, folks. I have favorite sushi chefs. I can't sit down and just let any Japanese guy with a knife throw food in my mouth. No, sir, Bob. Chef Ken is there, and I say, hey, do you guys have live sweet shrimp? And he's like, oh, yes, we do. Although he said it in a much more Japanese fashion that I will not fucking imitate because it would sound terrible. It's all right. This should tell you, like, when I went to Wisconsin, Jill and I went to breakfast, like right when I landed, and we walked into a place, and I actually took a photo of the grease board, like they had the specials on there, and just made me laugh because I'm like, dude, I'm totally in Wisconsin. I'm absolutely in fucking Wisconsin. Soup of the day, beer cheese soup. You might as well just said, hey, who wants a huge bowl of Wisconsin? I mean, seriously, just why not just serve me a glass of bear sweat with it? I mean, it's just fucking disgusting. It's horrible. Oh, God, beer cheese soup. And then underneath it, look, folks, you know what I don't mind sometimes? I like an Asian chicken salad, right? Who likes an Asian chicken salad? Do you like an Asian chicken salad? Do you like anything with Asian in it, like maybe an Asian spring roll? Okay. How do you feel about Oriental chicken salad?
Love it.
Oh, my God. Set it on the grease board. Oriental chicken salad, and the worst part is I said, what kind of dressing do you have? And they said, oh well, right, it actually comes with a house dressing that's called ding 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 gong noise. I actually took a photo of it. I was going to tweet it. I'm like, yep, I'm in Wisconsin. Beer cheese soup and Oriental chicken salad. And I was like, don't let it sneak up on you, the delicious taste. I'm like, just like that awful, like so bad and racist and terrible. But we had a lovely breakfast. You know what we had? I think we had a potato omelet stuffed with potatoes. I think it was that. And there was cheese, plenty of cheese. So I asked if they had live sweet shrimp at the sushi joint, and Jill kind of like gave me the side eye. And I said, dude, you're totally gonna like this. And she's like, well, I don't. It sounds. I mean, that one of those words doesn't belong in my dinner, quite frankly. And I said, live sweet shrimp is fantastic. And then Chef Ken went over and he brought it over. I go, do me a favor. I said to Chef Ken, because I'm a terrible person. Can we go ahead and say that right now? I said, do me a favor. Show it to her. And he's like, what? And I go, show her that they're alive. Like, hold it up so she can see what it is. And he's like, oh, okay. So he goes and grabs it, and he comes over, and he holds up two shrimp, and they're moving because they're alive. And she looks at it, and she makes this face. And I should tell you this. Jill has a rescue dog, and Jill really likes animals. And like Jill would, if Jill ever won the Powerball, first of all, she would disappear off the face of the earth, so I never found her again. Probably that's my guess.
I don't believe that's true.
I don't know. Maybe that's my guess. But she would also use the bulk of that fortune to rescue every animal that is in a shelter or a cage. She has. It's not even a soft spot. She feels that it should be done. And I'm with her. Cool. Go ahead. I don't mind dogs or cats. And if you want to give them a house, that's great. But she loves rescuing animals. That's her deal. So maybe asking the half-crazed Japanese chef to hold up the 2 live sweet shrimp and shake them in her face like maracas, and then go through a huge production of twisting their fucking heads off in front of her wasn't a great idea.
Probably not.
Because he holds them up and they're moving, and she looks at me and she's like, and I go, they're alive. Those are alive. Like I'm actually into it. I'm like, dude, you're gonna eat something that's alive. It's fucking incredible. You're about this is alive, and you're going to eat it in like 3 minutes. You are going to eat this. But right now it's alive. Like, I think that's a neat thing, and she thinks it's a barbaric fucking horrible practice and can't understand why I would be interested in it or think that she would ever want to be involved in it in any way, shape, or form. So he holds up the shrimp and he's like, oh, yeah, that's right. And they're moving in his hands. And he's like, ah. And he puts them down. I go, now watch through the glass. And he takes his hand and she goes, what is he? And I go, oh, he has to twist the heads off because then I go, trust me, you're going to like it. And she's just looking at me. If it was a movie, her body was still in the chair, but like her spirit had gotten up and walked out of the restaurant. Like literally there was just this mental throwing up of the hands, just like, yep, I'm out. And her spirit rose from the table and just walked out. But her body just still sat there kind of staring and wondering what she had gotten herself into. And that was it. Because what they do is they take the live sweet shrimp and then they take off the heads and they fry the heads. And then they give you the body. So they cut the body and it's still alive. It's alive. And they give you the body on rice and then they bring the fried heads and it's all, and you eat it together. And the fried shrimp heads, I'm telling you, are like the greatest bar snack you'll ever eat in your life. They're salty, they're delicious, it's just amazing. If you can get past the fact that you're eating its eyeballs that are staring at you when you put it in your mouth, then you're going to find out it's super delicious. And they brought it and she saw the heads and she goes, what is that? And I go, well, that's the heads. They fry the heads and you eat the heads and then you eat the body. And she just goes, oh, okay. I broke her. Like I didn't mean to. I didn't want to, but she was absolutely, and that was, she checked out like the rest of the meal, and it was my fault because I also had front loaded the meal with like kind of heavier stuff. Like I got some crispy sesame tuna and baked crab and crispy rice spicy tuna, which is filling, and then I thought we would have some fish, but once the shrimp thing happened, if that was it, she was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done. And I felt terrible because like I thought, because she's always ready to try anything. Dude, she ate crispy pig's head at Animal. I mean, she's just like in.
Yeah, and parade the pig by the table.
That is a very good point, Lily. And I wish somehow I had been able to consult you because I thought.
No, I don't want to look into the eyes of something I'm about to eat either.
I thought the novelty of seeing something alive and then eating it 5 minutes later was going to be great. And honestly, no, she could not have been less interested. And I'm not even joking when I say that like her spirit was floating in the ceiling, looking down at the two of us and going, "You're never eating that. You know, you're never eating that." And yeah, she was like, she just checked out. And I felt awful because I was so gleeful about it. I'm like, dude, this will be great. You should totally get it. You're going to love it. It's going to be delicious. And I didn't recognize the fact that she was horrified. And I just kind of proceeded with it. I'm like, dude, let's do this. Let's do it. It'll be awesome. You're really going to like it. Just try it. And also I'm spoiled because she tries pretty much anything. If I say, this is really good, you should try it. She is up for it, and she's such a fucking yes, and I think it's the greatest thing about her. She's such a yes, and I tell her that too. I go, you're a fucking miracle. You're such a yes, and it's great. But then, I found a limit to her yes because it's like. She's like, sorry, I can't eat something that's breathing. Is that okay if I'm not a yes for that? Because look, I've been in on everything. I've eaten crispy pig's head. I've eaten all sorts of other bullshit that you've put in front of me. But I'll tell you what, I have to say that I am out when it comes to murdering something directly in front of my face and then shoving it in my gullet like the most privileged fucking rich human being in the world. It is, because it is truly a terribly spoiled thing to do. Just sit there and just go, chef, bring me something alive and kill it. And then I will eat it seconds after. That's just like, it's like those people who, you know what? I made Jill star in Faces of Death. I didn't mean to. She came out here for a lovely vacation to see the man that she loves. And guess what happened? I handed her a mallet and said, let's beat this monkey to death and eat its brains on film. Let's do that. So terrible. Like, because I didn't even think of it like that. I'm like, dude, it's live sweet shrimp and it's so delicious. But she's got, dude, people have boundaries and people have lines, and maybe they don't want to put something that's alive in their fucking mouth. And here's the thing, maybe she would have been on board if I didn't have them murdered directly in front of her face. Because I did. That's what I said. I go, hey, do me a favor. Just go ahead and hold them up so she can see they're alive. I literally said that phrase. Hey, hold up those shrimp so she can see that they're alive. That's what I said. And the guy's like, okay, take a look. And the shrimp are clinging desperately to his chef hands, trying not to be murdered. They know that they're... And here's the thing. I guarantee you, like those two... That was the mother and son of the family, and the father and daughter were still off in the tub, and they had been taken away, and these were their final moments. They were saying goodbye to one another. They were trying, because they were like reaching their little shrimpy hands out for one another, because they wanted one last hug before they were eaten by the fat guy at the fucking sushi bar who made his girlfriend watch them get murdered. Oh my God, I am the Joseph Mengele of dinner. What the fuck happened to me? Because in my head, I'm like, this is going to be awesome. And then when you think about it later, you're just like, dude, you are fucking Jeffrey Dahmer of shellfish. What the fuck happened there? Why can't you just have a bowl of soup? Soup's good. Soup is good food. But instead you demand the murder of small creatures and then you're going to consume them seconds later? God damn it, who the fuck are you? I need to reevaluate who I am. See, that's a Mike Schmidt thing. It's not a Kevin Scott thing.
Yes.
You know what? Actually, that's more of a Copper Patina thing. That's a thing Copper Patina would do.
Oh no.
We're going to make a page for Copper Patina? Oh my God.
No, I am not.
Please do not. So I made Jill watch a murder. And then expected her to eat the victims. Like, it was so terrible. Like all of a sudden, Jill, you know, she traveled west. You know what? Jill traveled west. And remember, it was like that 15-hour journey and she traveled west? Jill's in the Donner Party. She had to spend a 15-hour journey, this arduous trip west, and then she wound up eating something she absolutely did not want to eat. And then, even worse than that, I ate it. Like, with this big smile, I'm like, oh, dude, it's really delicious. Trust me, it's like the best. And I'm trying to describe it, and she couldn't even look at me. Like, she didn't want to even, and in my head, I didn't even think about it. I'm like, oh, this is awesome, and she'll get, but dude, she didn't want to look at me because she has a heart. Which I look forward to eating at some point. Apparently, because that's who I am as a guy.
Oh my God.
I'm just going to reach into her chest and pull it out and fucking chew it up. And shake it in her face, no doubt, right beforehand. Look, it's alive! Ha ha ha, chomp! You know what goes good on a heart? Chili sauce. So, how did I spin off into that? I forget. I don't remember.
Being out with Jill at
Right.
the restaurant.
Yes.
And torturing her.
I didn't torture her. I tortured an animal. All right, so.
It's not an animal, it's a shrimp, and they're essentially the rats of the ocean.
But you know what's terrible? Like, honestly, because they can cook it. I should let them cook it, right? Shouldn't I just let them cook food? What was the whole point? I don't even know why. Because I thought about it. I'm like,
She's raw, that's the whole point.
yes, but it was delicious. It is delicious, and the fried heads are delicious. But I don't need my food staked out to a cedar plank and fucking stabbed to death in front of me, do I? I don't know. Maybe I do. Hold on. That changes the game a little bit. Let's do that. Maybe, you know what? What if they had to kill all of my food in front of me? I don't know if I would enjoy it. I don't want to see somebody shoot a stew. I guess they'd have to shoot every individual ingredient. Well, you can't shoot a carrot. Carrots are dead already. Well, carrots are alive. No, vegetables are alive, right? They're alive all the
Scream
time.
when you pull them out.
Vegetables do?
Yeah.
They scream when you pull them out of the ground?
Yep.
Stop with your fucking sorcery. That is not true. There's no way.
Do a search for do plants scream.
How bored were you one night? Oh my God. That is literally, you know what that is? That is insomnia. Like
No,
just
that's
grabbing you at 4 in the
arguing
morning.
against vegetarians.
Oh, you were fighting with people?
Like, yes, plants feel nothing, I'm sure. No, I'm sure. Here you go. Read this.
Oh, don't we know? Didn't we have, there was some burlesque person who was like all like militant and fist in the air but literally wearing like leather typing gloves.
Yes.
Like it was just like so ridiculous. And you're like, what do you do? I don't understand you at all because you're, I don't need anything with a face. No, but you'll fucking wear it around your neck for fuck's sake.
With a face, and I don't wear feathers because feathers come from birds, and
Yes, and then but that person was wearing like a leather coat.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Well,
All
it's
right.
vintage. It's been around. It was, it was killed before I was born. Oh, okay, so that's okay.
Yeah. This cow
We
died of
are
old age.
torture.
this cow died of old age. Nice eyeshadow. How many rabbits did they shoot it into his eyes before you fucking had to
Yep.
fucking put it on? God damn it. And by the way, what led people on Facebook to all of a sudden start circulating those videos and stuff? Like every time I go onto Facebook now, there's like a dog that had its head bit off, or there's all this bullshit. My brother's a good one for that. My brother always put up my brother is fucking dude. Look, I love my brother. All right, he's a good guy to a certain extent. He's a good father. Loves his kids. Loves horses in America too. He loves Jesus. Yeah, he does them all. He does everybody. He's a good brother. All right. But like he posts this stuff, and it's just been getting progressively crazier. Where I just want to go, dude. I don't. What rubber room are you in that you're typing this from? How horrified are you? How deep is your bunker? You know, I want to have the BG just go, how deep is your bunker? Oh, I feel light in them. All right. So anyway, I'm not going to do the lyrics. Why would I do that? Chili sauce. But he like started a post a couple of weeks ago with I'm not going to defend Donald Sterling, but I'm like, dude, no, stop, just stop. You have to stop right there. Literally, if your keyboard in any sense, the letters would leap off and not allow you to post any sort of fucking nonsense after that. No but, no comma, no anything. You can't. And then I read the rest of it, and it's just that. And then, but even worse is those people who look. If you take that stand or whatever you want to do, and that's fine on Twitter or whatever the fuck. The worst is the legions of people who come in to defend you, and they say, and they argue for free speech, but yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, you have the freedom to be a dumbass. I mean, I use it every Wednesday, for fuck's sake, but it just seems so ridiculous. There are consequences for what you do and say. There just are. There are. I mean, you're free to say whatever the fuck you want, yes, but if you... Yeah, if you work for somebody, or there's always some higher authority who's going to crack down on you, and it's always going to bounce back at you. You don't just get... It's not the right to say whatever you want and have everybody accept it and go, oh, okay, that's cool. I mean, because guess what? They have free speech too, and they're going to go, you're a dumb fuck if you believe that. Seriously, because it just, I don't get it. And again, like I said, I'm the last guy who should be talking about this because all I do is fucking say dumb shit, and I'm trying to get to a story about how I said dumb shit at work, and people look at me like, what the fuck did you just say? It's happened a few times because our friend Jill, who I mentioned, who I made watch I made watch 2 murders. And then had her watch me dispose of the evidence with my mouth. Oh, my Christ. Think about that. I had her watch 2 murders, and then I disposed of the evidence with my fucking jaws. I'm like a Bigfoot. Or like a Loch Ness Monster. Like I'm like a mythical creature who just murdered 2... And dude, but you know what? That chef's complicit. He actually murdered them. All I did was clean up the evidence. I'm an accessory after the fact. Send that chef to jail, not me. Chef Ken, you're going to jail. All right. But then they only leave Chef Ty. I can't put one of my favorite sushi chefs in jail. Again, like I said, I only have 2. I don't mind Chef Patrick. He's okay.
Oh my God.
Chef Patrick's okay. But again, that's another thing, too, is it's like all these fucking Asian Oriental dudes. I'm sorry, I say Oriental because I know that I have some New Wisconsin listeners. But I have Asian, like these chefs, but they're always like, hi, my name is Chef Joe. You know, it's like, your name's not Joe. It's 4 pictures. But I mean, I can't fucking... It is, seriously. But it's like, because they're in America, they're like, no, it's totally Joe. And it's like, and that's actually, it says it right in his name tag, Chef Totally Joe. And I'm like, your name is not Totally Joe. Oh my God, wait a second. That actually may be long for Tojo. All right, so.
Oh, fuck. What the hell?
What a fucking idiot. All right.
You okay over there?
I am. That just made me laugh. That was just stupid. Because it's the worst thing ever. Literally, that's like, I just said something my brother would have typed. So bad. Don't, please, by all means, do not tell the NBA commissioner I just made the Tojo joke because I will be banned from the league. Oh, it was awful. All right, so, chili sauce. All right, so, I'm at work, and all right, this happened. And again, it's not that big a deal to you guys because you guys know and you're with me every week and you know that I'm an idiot. But people who don't know that I'm an idiot are always shocked by my idiocy, like when it shows up. Because again, at work, I'm just like a normal dude. Like I show up and I'm friendly, except for when I'm, punching a fucking street sign or killing a mailbox or whatever the fuck or whatever I'm doing. Dude, I scared a girl this week cheering for hockey. I'm not even kidding. I'm watching the Blackhawks. The Blackhawks scored the overtime winner to clinch the series against Minnesota, and I fucking like yelled like a big yeah or whatever, and this girl jumped out of her skin. And this is one of the same girls I frightened when I went on a fucking diatribe against the crossing guard or whatever the fuck I did, and so I had to go to her and I go I'm just hockey. I just like hockey. I'm really sorry. And she's like no, and she laughed, but she was still kind of shaken up. I could see because you know what? Because there are just some people out there. Now let me touch base on this. There are some people out there who don't like loud noises. They just don't. You know who they are? They're gentle souls who like to just exist in the world and not have any controversy or any sort of yelling or any loudness. And they just want to live a life free of shocking noises or screaming. And I can't blame them. I certainly wish them luck, and I hope it continues that way for them. But I cheered for hockey and I yelled, and she totally jumped. I mean, like, dude, if she would have been carrying a box of straws, she would have been Vera from Alice. I mean, it would have been just like fucking all over the joint. So I had, I said that word. I go, I'm sorry, I'm just rooting for hockey. Because then I have to tell, because again, she also thinks I'm a psychopath anyway. So then I have to go, just rooting for hockey. I'm not yelling yeah because I want to kill somebody. I'm okay. And she's just like, no, I totally get it. That's fine. To the point where then when I saw her today and I go, no hockey today. I promise I won't yell. And she's just like, oh, stop, haha. We're all having fun. And then she goes and hides in a corner and shakes. And literally, because again, we got along great, but then she saw me freak out in the crossing guard and fucking punch a sign and lose my mind and stuff. And now when I come to work, she's just like fucking Mel Gibson's son in Ransom when Gary Sinise showed up to say goodbye and get the reward. You know what I mean? She's just standing there and pissing herself and shaking in a goddamn hallway, hiding behind a door. And I have to explain to her, no, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. So when I go to work in the morning, sometimes I'll call Jill on the way to work or whatever, but if I don't get to call her or talk to her or whatever, we text. So I'll text her in the morning, and she'll text me, and she'll send me a photo of herself, like at work in her cubicle or from her house, wherever she happens to be, and then I'll send a photo of myself. And sometimes I take them in the car, and sometimes I take them at work. And I'll get to work, and I'm sitting at the counter, and all my coworkers around, and I'm hoping that they don't notice, but they notice because then, I'm taking a selfie of myself at the goddamn countertop and I'm sending it to Jill. It's ridiculous. It's not ridiculous because I want her to have a photo of me, and she sent me a picture of her, and yay, I love you, and that's great. But you're gonna get your balls busted by everybody at work. So sure enough, I had the camera up and I'm positioning it, and it probably wouldn't be so bad if I didn't take 8 of them and try to pick the best one. That probably. Because if I just snapped a quick one and sent it off, probably nobody would notice. But I think having the guys come in and set up the lights probably was a real problem. That's what made me look like I had some sort of narcissistic problem. So I'm leaning and I'm trying to find just the proper angle where the sun is bouncing off the corrugated tin and making me look good. And so I'm holding the camera and I'm moving it around, and I'm like, well, dimple, no dimple, squint or no squint. Which eyes? Do I want bedroom fuck me eyes or just like smiley eyes? Or do I want? In my head, I'm like figuring all this out. Listen, folks, I put a lot of thought into my selfies. If I were to send you one, you would understand. So I'm holding the camera and I'm making it work. And then finally, one of my coworkers just goes, "Oh my God, are you taking a selfie right now?" And I go, "Yes." And they all start cracking up. Ah, they're hilarious. They're high-fiving, and the Cosby kids show up, and then Arsenio Hall comes in and does a somersault, and it's like everybody's having a great time. They're going and saying, yeah, the dog pound goes nuts. And they're just like, really? Why are you making oh my God, you're taking a selfie of yourself at work? I'm going to say, and I go, well, yeah, if you have a girlfriend who lives fucking 2,000 miles away and she sends you a picture, you want to send her a picture, you got to take a selfie. And they're like, dude, why don't you just send the same one over and over? It's not like she's going to notice. Ah, ha, 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 high five, and everybody jumps around and we're all having a great time. And then someone's like, dude, why don't you just take a bunch of photos and then you've got them all on tap, and then whenever she wants one, you just send her one, right? That'd be perfect, because then you just got a whole bunch of them and you have to take them at work. Ha, 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 high five. And I go, I actually do that with my cock photos. Silence! Let all of this fun cease! Because Mike just showed up and said something he probably wasn't supposed to say. But they're like, ha, 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 busting balls. Hey, why don't you take a whole bunch of selfies and send them off? Ha, ha, you get a whole bank of them. Ha, ha, high five. Woo, you're the stupidest person. Oh, yeah, I do that. I do that with my cock photos. What? And they literally froze. Like people just stopped and froze in place. And I think two of the actual, like the bus boys, they were actually, their ashes are in the wall. Their shadows now are just burned into the wall where I work. They disappeared and they're gone. It was like Pompeii. They're just fucking shadows now. A testimony to my honesty right there in the fucking lobby. And then there's like a beat because I don't discriminate. There were waitresses and everybody was there. They were because they were all having fun. They're all doing that. And so I was like, yeah, I do that with my cock photos. And there's this beat, and it's like it was. I mean, it hung there, pun fully intended. It hung there for a good 10 seconds, and it was quiet, and I could see that they genuinely were fucking weirded out. Like they were all weirded. They were weirded out. They were crazy weirded out by it. Because I didn't laugh or high five after it. I said it, and I was like, yeah, I do that with my cock photos. And just made like a straight face because that's how you sell it.
That's what you do.
That's how you sell a joke.
That's where you that's how you do that.
Yes. Yes, because when you're amateurs, you high five and you joke and you ha ha and you elbow each other and you go wink wink and ha ha, we're all having fun here. But you know what? When you're a professional, you just fucking deliver it like a goddamn right hook. And then you stare and you wait to see the reaction. Well, the reaction was just one of frozen terror. And about 10 seconds went by, and then I went, I'm kidding. And then it was like, oh my God, oh Jesus, oh man, and I'm like, yeah, dude, seriously, really? And they're like, oh my God, I just couldn't believe you said that. And they're like, oh Jesus, and you just even the thought of it and made me think, and I'm, oh my God, and so then it's like, haha, we're all having fun. And then of course, in my hand I have my phone, and in my phone I have a folder of all cock photos that I could send off anytime I fucking wanted to. Literally.
Poor Jill.
Yep. Hey, look.
Does she respond with, yes, honey, that's nice? Because I would.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, if my boyfriend were sending me cock photos, I'd be like, that's lovely, honey. Nice lighting. I would constantly be like,
This looks like the other 5 you sent.
yeah. Good angle.
I like this. You're getting better at this, honey.
Seems perky today. I would just be like totally like, great selfie. Your eyes look good.
Your eye looks great.
I don't need to know how she responds. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'll show you if you want to see.
No, I don't.
No, it's
I don't
fine.
need to see her text back.
She's actually more vocal about the videos.
Comedy.
Right hook.
Comedy.
Chili sauce. But that was my favorite part, is that it hung there for 10 seconds, and I had to go, kidding, we're having fun here. And they're like, aha, finally. And they all high-five me and fist-bump me. And in my head, I'm just like, yeah, I wasn't really kidding, but I said that to fucking calm you guys down. Because that's the difference between an amateur and a professional. And I don't mean it in a mean way. I don't mean amateur like, haha, amateur. Because I really genuinely like all these people. They're really cool. But when you then... Because I get called harsh all the time because I'll say something funny and I sell it with a straight face. When I was on Never Not Funny, as a running joke, they started calling me the assassin. Because it would be like we were all ping-ponging funny, and then I would say the terrible thing and crush it over the fence and just stand at home plate and watch it disappear in the distance. So as a running goof, they started to call me the assassin. Because that's what you do as a comic. Because Jimmy can do it too, but he just allowed me to do it on that show. You know what I mean? Where I got to be the topper or whatever. I was the third guy. But real people don't care for the assassin. They don't, because it's like they... All right.
It's worse than the cock photos.
Well, this is just... But this isn't even that bad. I don't even think this was that bad. It's just that the reaction was worse, where... they're at my job, they hired some new people. And when I heard they hired these people, here's what I do. They said, fuck, I can't say too much, all right? But they hired somebody new, and when I heard this person, I found out their name, and I Googled them, okay? I do that a lot. If I hear somebody's name, I'll just Google them to find out who they are and find out what they're all about. Well, I Googled this person, and I found their Facebook page, and I found their Twitter page, and I found their LinkedIn page, and I found out that they are fucking bananas. I mean bananas. And the reason I Googled them, by the way, I should say, is because I had a texting exchange with this person, and I knew from the 4 texts that went back and forth, something was up. And I knew it just from that, just because it was this weird questioning, and then I would answer, and then they questioned me, and I answered, and they questioned me in another weird way. And I'm just like, dude, seriously, are you just home counting matches off the floor? What the fuck is your problem? Hey, Raymond, watch Wapner and put on a nice coat and sail down the escalator and leave me the fuck alone. This texting exchange is over. Stop asking me questions, because there was a question and then they answered it and then I answered it and we were done. But then they continued to fucking talk to me. And I just like, dude, we're done. We're finished. Stop. So I came to work and I'm like, hey, what's the deal with this person? And it was so funny because I found out on my own that the person was bananas and I didn't want to share anything. So when I showed up and I go, hey, how's this person working out? And they were, and they went, oh my God. And they decided to tell me this anecdote about how the person won't stop talking and like talks to customers and, just does all these different things. They're a different sort of person. And I was going to be working with the person that night. And I said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, I could have told you that. I said, because I Googled this person and I found their social media presence and they are fucking crazy. And they're like, what do you mean? And so of course, I pulled it up for them to see. And it isn't even anything that bad, but it's enough to where, like, you ever go to somebody's Facebook page and it's just like a haunted house? Like, they've posted the same photograph 6 times in a row, like, because they don't know how to upload photos or how to delete photos, or it drives me crazy. Like, I've made a spelling error on Facebook and I'm furious about it. And I keep waiting for my phone to refresh just so I can fix it, just because my thumbs were too big for texting or whatever the fuck. But there are people who will spell something wrong and then they will post underneath it and go, oh, I meant to say this, not that. And so they post a correction instead of actually going in and correcting it because they don't know that you can edit your own post and change the fucking misspelling. So they'll chase their own fucking tail throughout the entire comment thread 4 or 5 different times because they're like, oh, I didn't mean to misspell that. I'm sorry. Here's what I really meant to say. And I'm just, dude, fucking just hit edit post. That's all you got to do. And so and again, this is probably speaking to me and who I am as a guy, I instantly lose respect for that person because I'm like, you didn't bother to do the research and figure out how to do this. And because there are people who post all these misspellings and I read them and I'm just fascinated by why you would ever hit send. Why would you ever? I mean, I'd rather be my fucking crazy brother posting all of his weird opinions because at least my brother is erudite and he can speak well. Nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and post all the crazy shit you want if its fucking commas are in the right place. But the worst is people who are just like kind of chime in and then they fucking ruin it by misspelling shit, or they write in text speak like you are with the letter U and the letter R, and I'm like, oh my Christ, stop. You're a grown up. Again, only Prince can get away with talking like that. Chili sauce. That's right. That's what it'd be like if you're in bed with Morris Day. He's like a lover. He whispers right in your ear, chili sauce. Because when he's courting you, he's yelling chili sauce. But when he's in bed with you, chili sauce. Baby, when we go out. Sorry. My drawers, chili sauce. All right. I think the whole world should talk in Morris Day shorthand. Wouldn't that be great? I think, there should be like wind talkers. Remember Nicolas Cage in the movie Wind Talkers? A bunch of Indians who created a code to try to avoid the Germans or whatever the fuck. We should deal with Morris Day and all of his fucking language. That'd be perfect. That's the perfect way to defeat the Russians. And yes, that's right. I'm calling out the Russians. I feel that they want a piece of us. I can feel it right now. All this tension over the Ukraine. And the Ukraine's strong. The Ukraine is strong. And if there was a Risk game here, I would dump it on the ground. Haha, Seinfeld. On a train. Who plays Risk on a train? You know what I would play a train on a Risk. All right. I hate abbreviations. Let's talk about that for just a second, folks. I don't understand it. If you're typing YOU, type YOU. Don't just type you. You're just lazy. You're a fucking lazy dick at that point. You leave out a Y and an O. Who are you? Somebody special? Again, only Prince can talk like that. Type the Y and the O and have it go with the U. You can't just type the U. What's wrong with you? You. What's wrong with YOU, as a matter of fact? Why don't I say that? Hey, actually, you know what? What's wrong with EWE? What's wrong with you, female sheep, with your text sheep, whatever the fuck you want to call it? I have no idea. But I hate abbreviations, and here's why. Because I have XM. And that's not why. That seems silly. Because that makes it sound like I hate XM. I don't know. Because I don't know what XM means. Because there's AM and FM, which means analog media and phanalog media, right? Isn't that what it means? And Z means Xanalog media. You're shaking your head. Well, you worked in radio for a long time. You probably know what they mean. What do they mean?
Frequency modulation is FM.
Frequency modulation.
And temperature modulation is AM.
American meatloaf, you say?
Yeah, it's American meatloaf. And
All right.
XM is the extra modulation.
Oh, and you got to shrug when you do it? I like it. Extra modulation.
It should be EM.
It should be. No. Bullshit.
Extra modulation.
Extra. Well, you should cross your arms into an X then. Extra. Like Chuck Liddell, the Iceman.
I go Wonder Woman.
You want Wonder Woman?
I just go Wonder Woman.
Oh, like Linda Carter and the thing? No, I think Wonder Woman's in the Batman movie. They got a
Wonder Woman's
Batman.
Not in enough, but let's not get off on that.
Dude, Batman and Superman are making a movie together, the two of them. I don't know if you've heard this. Batman and Superman are getting together and making a film. And they're not in it. They're just like, you know what they are? They're like the Wachowski brothers. They're actually directing and writing a film, Batman and Superman, but they're not going to be in it. It's a quiet story about a farmer in Iowa and how he tries to fight to save his land. Look, at heart, Batman and Superman have sensitive souls. Now, I'll tell you what, if Bruce Wayne and Clark Kent were to make a film, that's a completely different movie, because they would make a movie about superheroes. Because they know that. That's the thing, is they would make a movie about their alter egos. But nobody knows that that's their alter egos, because they would make the most perfect superhero movie, because they really are superheroes, and they would show you what it feels like to be a goddamn superhero. And then everybody would be like, dude, Wayne and Kent are the new Scorsese and Coppola, who've never made a movie together. But they should. They should team up and make a film. You know what? They should make The Departed Godfather and just like merge the storylines. Dude, that'd be fucking awful. You know what they should make? Oh, dude, how about this? What if they made Mean Jack? And it was like a combination of Mean Streets and fucking Jack, when Robin Williams is like a grown-up kid or whatever the fuck. But then Harvey Keitel gets to shoot him. Fucking awesome.
Okay,
All right.
if Harvey Keitel shoots.
See, that's why. That's what you do to get revenge on Jack. All right. Now, what the fuck were we talking about? I don't even remember. We were talking about something very important, I'm sure. We were talking about abbreviations. I don't like them, and here's why. Because, again, I have XM radio, folks. And I love hockey, and I love the Blackhawks. And I was going to talk about this earlier, and I forgot, and now I'm glad I remembered. Aren't you glad I remembered, folks? See what happened? We spin off, we talk about American meatloaf, and then I bring you something from 35 minutes ago. God damn it, that's how it works. So I have hockey radio in my car. NHL, which is an abbreviation I don't mind, really. That stands for National Hockey League. God damn it. You know what? I don't hate all abbreviations. I'm just thrown off by them. You know what? I don't like when you use abbreviations, but abbreviations that have been in the lexicon for a long time, I'm all for. Because you can't just say National Hockey League all the time. Make it NHL. Or NIHL. Nail? Neil. Nile. Dude, nihilists. All right. They're nihilists, dude. So, Jesus Christ, honestly, I'm going to hang myself with this mic cord. So there's a station I listen to. It's the NHL station. And in the morning, first of all, by the way, let's talk about this for just a second. Canada, where did you find all of these terrible broadcasters for your stations? I don't get it. The guys on the NHL station, there's like two guys who are good and have like really good voices. And even worse, dude, look, I hate jocks that come in and try to contribute. The worst is like MLB Network, because they're talking to like Mitch Williams and Harold Reynolds and fucking Kevin Millar and these dumb fucks, and you're like, oh, that's awful. And then you want to turn on the NFL Network and they're talking to the same dudes. Dude, nobody wants to hear ex-jocks. That guy could hit. Nobody's like, dude, that guy's so good at hitting a baseball. Let's let him talk. I mean, it's the most fucking embarrassing thing in the world. Don't let them talk. Find guys who can talk to do that. But then everybody's like, oh, fucking nerds. Fuck that. I'd rather listen to nerds talk about baseball than some fucking asshole who wore a jockstrap for 15 years and thinks now he can tell me about it because he was in a goddamn locker room. I don't give a fuck what the locker room smelled like. I don't care what it was like in there when you guys were teasing each other and busting your balls. Dude, the entire contribution this guy has made to civilization is he hit 20 home runs one year and he put icy hot in somebody's jock. And now I'm supposed to listen to him be funny on my fucking show? God damn it, no thanks. Give me the nerds anytime. I listen to NHL radio, and it's these Canadian dudes. But even worse, Canada's even worse because they don't really talk to any new, like, hockey players. They drag out the old dudes. I was in the car today, and I'm listening to a conversation between Phil Esposito and Derek Sanderson. Now, if you don't know who these guys were, they were hockey stars in the 70s who spent the majority of their adult life taking elbows to the fucking head and pucks to the nuts. That's what these guys are all about. They took hard-flying rubber discs to the Adam's apple and then got punched in the face by Dave the Hammer Schultz. And now, 25 years later, I'm supposed to hear their brilliance about the game that they played. Fuck that. You know what they did? They learned how to skate, and they carried sticks and hit rubber around a fucking ice patch. I don't want to hear them contribute their special fucking insight. All they did was skate around with very little padding on and had fucking Terry O'Reilly throw a left hook into their face every once in a while. Don't fucking bring me your expert opinion of the goddamn game. Phil Esposito sounds like your uncle at Thanksgiving. He's just sitting there like, they asked him today this long question about how the Pittsburgh Penguins are going to rebound after their loss and what they plan on doing in their locker room. And after it, I swear to God, this guy asked a really long question, and finally Phil Esposito just goes, "What? What?" That was his contribution to the conversation. Espo, you're the only other fucking guy in the goddamn studio. This guy's probably staring right into your scrambled fucking eyes and asking you questions, and you go with what? You go with what? That's your fucking response? Get that guy out of there. And then Derek Sanderson, who again, in the 70s was a guy with like long hair and a mustache, and they were like, "Ooh, who's this guy?" In 1974, it was really cool. Yes, in 1974, he's really cool. In 2014, that's 40 years away from cool. Derek Sanderson is no longer cool. Derek Sanderson has a hole in his brain and shouldn't be allowed near a goddamn oaken microphone. Ahem. So, they wind up talking to all these dudes on the hockey station in the daytime, but then in the afternoon they have a show called Hockey Night in Canada. Now, you Canadian people who are up there, you know all about this. Hockey Night in Canada, huge show. And so they got all these Canadian announcers, and they all say a boot. And they all talk about Montreal. That's the fucking weirdest thing in the world to me, too. They say Montreal, like there's a U in it, like it's Mun. Dude, no, fucking, it's not Olivia Montreal. It's Montreal. That's where you live. There's an O. We pronounce O's properly in this country. And granted, in your country, you're like a boot and Montreal. And what the fuck? Wrong. Montreal. You know, when you say Montreal, you know how you sound like, Canada? It sounds like a nation of fucking Mr. Howells from Gilligan's Island. That's who you sound like. Lovey, we should have it to Montreal. God damn it. And yes, I will make, you think Derek Sanderson is old? I just made a Gilligan's Island reference. What the fuck is wrong with me? Maybe I was getting elbowed in the fucking head by fucking Bill Barber in the 70s. Jesus God. Am I going to mention all of the Flyers? I might. I just might. Look, a show is not a show unless I bring up Bernie Parent. I think we all know that, right? If I'm not talking about Bobby Clark and the fact that he had no fucking teeth, then why are we even doing this? Why are we even broadcasting? Why is there even an open microphone? Chili sauce. You know who can't say chili sauce? Bobby Clark. He's missing his forefront teeth. He's like, chili. That's how it works. Although I think Bobby Clark has since replaced his teeth because he's very important in the Philadelphia Flyers organization right now. Because the Philadelphia Flyers just keep hiring guys that played for them. Like, I don't think they care at all. The Flyers don't care at all about front office expertise or the fact that you know anything about statistics or you can scout anyone. If you played for the Flyers and you wore the jersey, you've got a job for the rest of your life with that team. If you're Mel Bridgman, you never will go hungry because the Flyers will give you money to do anything. Show up at a mall and say, "Hi, I'm Mel Bridgman." That's what's going to happen. Just recently, the fucking Flyers promoted Paul Holmgren to like head of hockey operations and then gave Ron Hextall his old job. Ron Hextall's entire qualifications, he used to be the goalie for the Flyers, but then they give him the fucking job. That's dumber than giving Derek Sanderson an open microphone. I'm not kidding. There is no one in the world who cares about the last 90 seconds that I just talked about. Nobody. Not Ron Hextall's family, not Paul Holmgren's family. But yet, I hope you're still there. I hope you're sticking around, folks. You may not be. I don't know why I just went off on the machinations of the Philadelphia Flyers front office. I will tell you this, though. You want to hear one of the funniest things ever about the Philadelphia Flyers? Of course you do. You ever read McSweeney's? McSweeney's is fucking awesome, and they'll have fucking great stories. And there is this thing, Google it. You got to find it. There's this fucking series that they ran called The Philadelphia Flyers Have a Time Machine. And it is all about how, like, the Philadelphia Flyers go back to the Renaissance. And I swear to God, I've talked about it on here before. Like, literally, Eli Whitney is inventing the cotton gin, and then fucking Ron Hextall shows up in his outfit, and it's them dealing with him and him dealing with them. It's just so fucking genius. I love it. It's wheelhouse for me. It's fucking great. It's like there's this piece, if you can ever Google this, it was in The Onion. So, and I loved it so much, I used to keep it on a bulletin board above my desk to remind me of what was funny. If I ever forgot what funny was, I would fucking read this article again and just go, oh, okay, that's what I'm looking for. There was an article in The Onion, and by the way, Lily, I should tell you, Lily hates The Onion. Can't stand it. She and I have this discussion fucking twice a week. That seems strong. That may explain why we didn't start the show until fucking 9 o'clock tonight. But she doesn't care for The Onion. She doesn't like it. She feels about The Onion the same way I feel about pranks. Where I'm just like, oh, I get it. You made a crank call and tricked somebody. Ha ha. Well, she's just like, yeah, you're great. You wrote a fake news story. Stupid. You know what I mean? That's. But I try to explain that there's an art to it and the level of it and stuff, and she doesn't dig it. It's not for her. Just like if someone tried to explain pranks or crank calls to me, I'd be like, fuck that.
Again, I think funny news stories and parodies are hysterical. I just don't think The Onion is good at it.
I see. I would disagree with you, as you know.
We agree to disagree, and circle takes the square.
Indeed. Let's shake hands, shall we?
No.
Could you have some candy fall out of your pants?
Maybe.
I would love it. The article I taped above, I didn't tape above it, but because why would I tape it to a bulletin board? That would just, you know what? That's funny enough. I don't even need to describe it anymore. That's what reminded me about funny. I taped an article to my bulletin board just to remind me what comedy was. No, it was an op-ed piece in there. You can find it online, and it was like, who do you think you are? Former New Orleans Saints linebacker Pat Swilling, and it's a guy who works in an insurance office, and he's chewing out a coworker, and every time he says something, he goes, you know, I don't like you and your attitude. You come in here, who do you think you are? Former New Orleans Saints Pro Bowl linebacker Pat Swilling? I mean it. God damn it. I'm in the office, and we're talking about flipping these houses, and all you do is sit there with your face like you just sacked 13 guys. You set a record for sacks and went to all pro. It's just, and he just recites his statistics, and it's the funniest, because it just keeps going on, and I just picture a guy really saying that to a dude. He's chewing him out and asking, who do you think you are, Pat Swilling? God damn it, it's funny. So if you ever want to know what comedy is, find that article. And if you ever forget what perfection is, go ahead and listen to 10 Years Gone by Led Zeppelin. All right, so I'm giving you a lot of tips for the things that you forget, folks. So I listen to Hockey Night in Canada because I love hockey. I love hockey a lot. You know what I do? I tape hockey. I've been taped because I taped the Hawks. I'm taping hockey tonight. As I sit here now with our friend Lily, I'm taping Game 7 of the Montreal Canadiens and the Boston Bruins, and I will go home and watch that and be excited. And I must apologize to Michael Caldwell. I'm rooting hard for the Montreal Canadiens, sir. But I do want to go home, and I do want to see Montreal because, again, Original Six. It's all about the Original Six. And the best part is right now in the Eastern Conference, we're going to have, no matter what happens tonight in Game 7, we have an all Original Six final in the Eastern Conference, and the Blackhawks are Original Six in the Western Conference. We could have another Original Six finals. It's going to be fucking amazing. I'm so excited. That's what I do, folks. I tape hockey. I go home and I tape hockey, and I talk about the Philadelphia Flyers to nobody. Jesus Christ. Does it show that I live alone now? Does it show why my ex-wife left? Because all I did was talk about the Philadelphia Flyers all night, and she bailed? Jesus Christ. It was either that, you know, folks, look, if I'm not talking to you about the front office of the Philadelphia Flyers, I'm going to go out and murder a shellfish. Now, that's just how I work. And I know what you're thinking. That seems selfish. Well, I'm a selfish murderer of shellfish. I'm a selfish murderer of shellfish. I'm a selfish murderer of shellfish. Shellfish. I'm a selfish murderer of shellfish. I don't know. All I know is that's my favorite song from Fiddler on the Roof. Okay, so Canada has terrible broadcasters. Let's get back to that, folks. I know you want to. I know Canada's trying to get me off and say, "Oh, dude, you can't fucking." No, dude, I will talk about it because they're all arrogant and they're terrible. And also, speaking of arrogant, fuck you, America's Hat, because on XM they have a channel called Canada Laughs. Dudes, you have your own fucking comedy station. Like, you can't just blend in with the other comedy stations. And look, I understand you're the land of Kids in the Hall and you're the land of SCTV, and good for you. And I'm sure there's other funny people from Canada that are escaping me at this moment. Jim Carrey, right? Mike McDonald. I think that's all, right? I covered it. That's it. That's all the funny people from Canada. But because I'll tell you what, the Canada Laughs, they have shows on there. They have commercials for somebody like, I think it was called Hulu and George or someone. And it's bad. I mean, I can't even. Like, I'm trying to think of a cute way to say it or funny, but like, if this is your best shot in the commercial to try to hook me and get me to listen to Hulu and George on Canada Laughs, I almost, here's how bad it is. I don't want to cancel my XM. I want to drive my car off a cliff so no one can ever listen to the radio again. That's how fucking bad it is. It's so grim. And look, here's the thing. You like me. All right, let's talk about this. Because Hulu and George have their fans. I'm sure they do. And you guys like me, ostensibly, I guess. You come back and you listen to me, and so you must like me. Or there's some sort of trick or chicanery. Or maybe you have a bet. Maybe you're like the guy in Twilight Zone who cut his own tongue out and he had to listen to somebody for a year, and he couldn't talk for a year. Remember that dude? He couldn't talk for a year, and so he cut his own tongue out, and then it turned out the guy couldn't pay him at the end of the year. Maybe that's what's going to happen to you guys. Like somebody bet you couldn't listen to me for a fucking year, and then at the end of the year, the guy's going to go, sorry, man, I can't help you. And it turns out that you fucking punched out your own eardrums with chopsticks and you weren't really listening to me this whole time. Who knows? I don't know how you live your lives. But I think you like me. I sort of think you like me, and that's why you come back. And that's why Hulu and George's people must like them, because they come back and listen to them. So they have their own little shorthand and their own little fun stuff that they talk about, I guess. But it's not on the fucking commercial, I'll tell you that. I don't know who Hulu is. I don't know who George is. You know who the funniest person in that show is? And. That's right. Dude, when a fucking ampersand is funnier than anything you've got, when a conjunction is the funniest thing in your show. Because I'll tell you what, I know all about conjunction, and its function is not to be the funniest part of your show. It's just to be hooking up words and phrases and clauses. You know who Ann should not have hooked up? Hulu and George. Let them separate, let them be alone, and let them do their own shows individually. If there's a Hulu show and a George show, maybe I tune in. You get those two together, fucking and. You know what? You're the war criminal of that show, and. No longer are you the funny one. You are absolutely the war criminal of Hulu and George, because you introduced the two of them. You brought together Leopold and Loeb. You brought together Hulu and George. Fuck that, dude. And they're murdering more than shrimp. They're murdering funny. And isn't that the most selfish thing of all? Chili sauce. So I listen to Hockey Night in Canada because it is one good thing that you guys have churned out, except the hosts are terrible. But Hockey Night in Canada, I will tell you this, on my XM radio, I have a little television in my car, like a television screen for my GPS, and when there's like a map, and I punch it, and it shows me there's me. That's pretty cool. Like there's a little blue arrow, and I look at me, and I'm like, yay, there's me, and I'm driving around, which I like, because I enjoy seeing myself on television. Certainly on that television. I like seeing myself on a map. Folks, I put myself on the map. Dumb. All right, so, and by the way, all this bitching about abbreviations, how do I not say global positioning system? Instead, I say GPS. You know what? It's an earworm. I've been infested by these abbreviations. Or I've been I by the A. Anyway. Hockey Night in Canada is on. And when you aren't watching the GPS, when I'm not watching myself drive around and seeing my little self there waving at myself on the GPS map, I get to look at the radio stations, and it will tell you like who's singing. So if I'm on the Pearl Jam station, it'll say Pearl Jam station, Jeremy, recorded live in Warwick, Rhode Island, and it'll have the date and all that stuff. It gives you all of this information about what's going on. And if you turn into a talk station, it'll tell you who's hosting. It'll say Hobo and George or whatever the fuck. And it'll say, this is on Canada Doesn't Laugh. I think that's the name of the station when Hulu and George are on. I'm not sure. So on Hockey Night in Canada, it's a small screen, so there's not enough real estate to put Hockey Night in Canada up on my screen. So they abbreviate it. And they abbreviate it to HNIC, which is fine if you know that you're listening to Hockey Night in Canada. But I have to be honest with you, and this happens every single time I'm listening and I look at the screen, and I'm not kidding. Every single time I'm listening to the station, they're talking about hockey, and I'll be looking in traffic, and I'll look in the rearview mirror, and then I'll look down at the screen to just see what's on, and it will say HNIC, and I immediately think head nigger in charge. Immediately. And I'm not kidding. Every time I look, head nigger in charge is on my radio. And I'll tell you this is, and I don't even know where it came from. Because I remember, I think when I was a kid, I think I may have heard Richard Pryor use it before, and I know Prodigy from Mobb Deep put out an album called HNIC, which stood for Head Nigga in Charge, and it's just burned into my brain that those initials, that's what that means. And it's stupid, and it probably says something terrible about me, because I'll tell you what, it's like, there's a phrase, an abbreviation CPT. I didn't know what CPT meant. I had no idea, and then Ralph Harris used it for when we were doing Funny Money once. He used CPT in Vegas, and I didn't know what it meant, and then a stagehand told me what it meant, and I'm like, oh, fuck, of course. Well, now I see what that means, and It didn't make me any happier with Ralph Harris, quite frankly. I was still pissed off at him, but what the fuck am I going to do about it? But once I found out what that meant, I was like, oh, okay, well, now I know what that means. But like HNIC, it just, every single time I see it, it goes head nigger in charge. And the fucking great irony about that is, dudes, I'm listening to a show about hockey in Canada as snow falls. I mean, literally, it could not be more white if somehow I was drinking milk at the Indianapolis 500 while listening to the fucking head nigger in charge in my race car. It's the whitest show about the whitest sport in the whitest country, and every time I look up, I see fucking head nigger in charge. In fact, my brain should just make it head nigger in Canada. Or, better yet, head noir in Canada. 2, 3, 4. How did I even get here? I got here somewhere, somehow.
You hate abbreviations. Or not abbreviations, you hate what's the word?
I don't like abbreviations.
Not abbreviation.
An
abbreviation is, no, it's the,
anagrams?
no.
Let's take a nap.
Okay.
You and I need a nap. You go in one room, I'll go in the other. First person to wake up comes back in and starts the show again. How's that sound? It's like respective corners. Let's go to our corners. You go to the white corner, I'll go to the blue corner. Although you look better in blue, probably. I'll go to the white corner. After what I just talked about, I should be in the white corner for a long time. All right, so, folks, at work, sometimes I say things and people don't like it. Here's a case in point. Did I mention that somebody at my work is working there? And I was talking about that, right? Then I spun out of that. So I was going to work with this person a couple of days ago. And when I came to work, like I said, I talked to my coworkers, and they're all like, yeah, this person is a little this and that and whatever. And I'm like, all right, that's fine. So we got to be super busy. And after about 2.5 hours, I came in to grab some deliveries. And there was a person over by the delivery table. And I walked in, and I looked at a tag, and this person looked at a tag. And I looked at them, and they looked at me. And I didn't know who this person was, and they were staring right at me. And they were a foot away, and they were by the delivery table. And I'm looking at them, and I want to try to describe what this person looked like, but I'm going to say something later that will tell you exactly what this person looked like. So I'm going to wait.
Okay.
But the person's looking at me and I'm looking at them, and then I say, "Can I help you?" Because we're used to, people know I work there because I walk right in, and they just think I don't know, because I'm big and I'm in the front of the store, so they always ask me questions. So I said, "Can I help you?" And this person goes, "Can I help you?" And I said, "You can't." I said, "I work here." And they said, "I work here as well." And I said, "Are you," and I said that person's name, because I knew immediately then with this strange and weird behavior that I had been told about that this is exactly who it would be. And I said, "Are you?" And I said the person's name, and they go, "Yes." And they said, "Are you Mike?" And I said, "I am." And they go, "Oh, well, it's good to finally meet you." And they shake my hand. And they say, "So, yeah, this delivery goes to Santa Monica, and this one goes to Venice, but you can go ahead and take whichever one you want, but I'm going to think about taking," and this person just talks. And won't stop talking. And finally, I'm like, all right, well, these are going here, and this is going here. Why don't you take those two, and I'll take this one? And they said, okay, great. And then they walked out. And one of the managers came up to me, and I should tell you this, while we were doing the whole dance of, do I know you? Do I know you? Can I help you? Can I help you? Who are you? Who are you? The manager was looking at me over this person's shoulder and just kind of smirking, like, this is happening, and I'm watching it unfold. So then that person leaves with the deliveries, and I'm standing there, and the manager looks at me, and I just kind of go, oh, boy. And it's that thing. It's the same thing I felt. I should tell you this. I told a story on here about a guy named Woody that I went to high school with. And when Woody came into my school, I was in internal suspension, so I didn't know about him. All I know is my friends kept going, dude, wait till you meet Woody. Oh, my God, Woody is unbelievably brutal. I mean, it's just, you're not going to believe it. It's like, it's crazy how crazy Woody is. And I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck this means. But so a whole week went by, and then the next, Monday, I came to school, and I was at the lunch table, and Woody walks up, and everybody goes, Woody! And I turned around, and I looked at him, and I went, and I literally right in his face. I didn't even mean to. I didn't want to, but I looked at him, and I went, oh, man, really? Like, because he had high water pants on and like a compass in his pocket and like a kind of a weird crew cut on the sides and then greased on the top and thick rimmed glasses and a big exposed lip. He looked like R. Crumb drew him. I mean, it was like fucking brutal. And it looked like a joke. Like I thought my friends were playing a joke on me. So literally in his face, I went, oh, come on, really? It was so bad. So that's kind of how I felt about this person. Like I felt there was no one who could ever look like this and be this odd. And the manager comes up to me and he kind of makes a face, and I'm just like, yeah. I go, that's interesting. And he goes, well, it looked like you two were having a moment. I didn't want to interfere. And he laughs, and then the girl at the register laughs, and it's like everybody's having a nice little joke, and everybody's ha ha ha. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, I just want to know when they quit their job at the chocolate factory.
Oh no.
Which should tell you exactly what this person looks like. Like 4'10", and crazy orange hair, and long sleeved shirt, and beige slacks buttoned up and pulled all the way up. I mean, just looked like an Oompa Loompa, like a human Oompa Loompa. Now, again, you guys know me, so that's not that big a deal, right? To say something like that. So he's like, you guys were having a moment. I didn't want to get involved. And I go, I just want to know when they quit their job at the chocolate factory. And the look on his face and the girl at the register, it looked like I had just went, hey, I think abortions are neat. Like it was like that. And he just goes, oh. And I go, what? And he goes, oh, that's harsh. I go, that's harsh? And I looked at him and I go, dude, that isn't even close to harsh. And he goes, well, don't say anything to be mean. And I go, no, I'm not going to say anything. I go, I was being fun because we're all having fun here. But I mean, if you think that's harsh, we got a problem. Because I mean, I could be a lot more harsh than that. He's like, well, don't do that. Because then they think I'm saying that I'm going to be harsh. I'm like, no, I'm not saying I'm going to be harsh. I'm just saying I could be more harsh. They're like, well, please don't be more harsh. I'm not planning on being more harsh. But you just told me for a full day about how bananas this person was. And I thought the same thing. And then and then I'm a jerk. I'm a jerk for that. I mean, it was pointed, certainly, and it was right on fucking spot. I mean, I won't lie to you. I mean, I nailed it, and that was why. And that was why people think it's harsh, because it was perfect. It was absolutely fucking perfect. And I stood there, and I watched it sail over the fence, and I got booed by everybody I knew. So I became a villain in, like, that instant. But it was like, dude, why the fuck am I a villain? That was a perfect line. But that's the problem. Civilians have no interest in a perfect line. Civilians don't want to know that you fucking nailed it, that you were able to boil it down to its essence and fucking kill it. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that in the real world. So thank God for Wednesday, because I can come here into a stripper's kitchen and sit down in a broken chair and watch every fucking ball sail over the goddamn fence. On fucking Wednesday, the head podcaster in charge can murder all the fucking shrimp that he wants. You guys can get me at MikeandMikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40-year-old-boy. You can follow our friend David Hernandez. Well, not follow him, but you can friend him at Facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. He does all of the artwork, all of the music for this show. And he will actually do artwork for you if you want to go to artbydmh.com, ARTBYDMH.com. You can commission him to do some artwork for you, some amazing stuff. I know people who listen have already done so and are very pleased with the results. So please go check out artbydmh.com and have David Hernandez do some artwork for you, like he does for our show every week. Lily Von Stupp is the producer of this show and my great friend. She can be followed on several Twitter accounts, twitter.com/Lily Von Stupp, twitter.com/MNTs, and twitter.com/HollywoodBQFest. You can be her friend at facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. But if you'd like to write her a personal note or a check for $4 million,
Please.
you can get her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Joe Business, Joe, you're dirt. Joe Business, Joe, you're dirt. Joe Business, Joe, you're dirt. Don't tell me that you haven't bought the big angry. Not yet. Buy it at your business. Look at that kick-ass art for sale. Tweaked audio just cannot fail. Buy it at your business. Hey, the Schmidt, it comes alive. He'll like rap or buy you 1 through 5. Joe, your dirt. Buy it at your business.
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Teas every Monday night at the 3 Clubs on Vine at Santa Monica. I happen to know the producer of that show. It is the longest-running, hottest burlesque show in the history of Los Angeles, the history of Southern California, the history of the West Coast, the history of above the equator. Are we above the equator? I think we're above the equator. And by the way, if you go to the Monday Night Teas, keep your eyes above the equator, seriously, because that's where you want to see it. That's where all the action is. My friend Lily Von Stupp is the producer of that show. Hi, Lily. How are you?
I'm good.
Candy Pants. That should be your new burlesque name. Candy Pants Lily Von Stupp.
I like Copper Patina, man.
Copper Patina works. That's not bad. I won't lie.
I'm gonna open up a venue and call it the Copper Patina.
Dude, and feature Candy Pants. Copper Patina featuring Candy Pants. It's not a bad band name. Copper Patina featuring Candy Pants. Well, it sounds like, you know what? It sounds like a Mexican mariachi cover band, Copper Patina. And then Candy Pants sounds like Content
I'm out
Floss.
on all of it then.
You're done?
Yeah.
Candy Pants sounds like the female version of Content Floss.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Lily. You don't like me. How are you? You're good? Everything's fine other than your back and your illnesses?
I'm okay.
All right. How was last week's Monday Night Teas? I heard it was a fantastic show.
It was a wonderful show.
And it went well, and you were there, and it was exciting. And unfortunately, I could not make it. I could not attend. I was very, very busy in Venice Beach bringing people potato salad. This week, however, is a theme show that everybody loves. It's a favorite at the Monday Night Teas. It's a favorite. Look, it's a favorite everywhere. But at the Monday Night Teas, it's an actual reality. Because what I'm saying is other places, they talk about this sort of thing, and they don't really put it on. But at the Monday Night Teas, they have it every single year. It's an amazing show, and it is the Madonna show, which is like the month of May, a tribute to Madonna, which is a great show. And are you hosting? Will you be involved? Are you dancing? What are you doing?
I will be hosting as Martha Quinn once again.
That's exciting. And you've got, who else is coming in and performing? Look at you. You are so tired and you are so over me at this point. You just want me out of your goddamn house.
Jezebel Thunder, Sheila Starr, I think.
All right.
Bella Luna and Carmel Knowledge are going to be doing Like a Prayer, brand new.
All righty.
There's like 11 acts. It's going to be great.
Okay. Well, good. I'm excited for that.
It's hot here. I'm just tired.
We both are, and we've been here a long time, and we had all sorts of issues today, and we've had all sorts of backs and forths, but now here we are, and we're finishing up. We're in the home stretch. You've got all sorts of butternuts falling out of your shorts, and we're gonna have a good time.
I have butternuts in my shorts. Everything's hot butternuts.
Butternut is that's a old candy bar. Why did I pull that one out of my brain? Butternut. That's it. Well, because I was thinking a bit of honey. Dude, maybe you have a bit of honey in your shorts.
No.
No?
I have butternuts down there.
Butternuts. Okay. Jesus
That's
Christ.
like Butterface. I think it's awesome. Everything's hot about that chick Butternut.
We need a nap. Well, exciting. Madonna's coming up in that school, and a ton of other shows are also coming up. Go to the facebook.com/Monday Night Teas page and join and learn about who's coming and when they're going to be here and see all the photographs. And last week you had a very special photograph at the end of the show.
Yeah, we did a Bring Back Our Girls with about 40-some people from the cast, the audience. They all.
And that is the Bring Back Our Girls hashtag for the Nigerian schoolgirl crisis, which is it a crisis or just they were kidnapped and they got to bring them back?
I mean, human rights are really being fucked with all across the world. And, you know, as people who can take their clothes off in public, I felt it pretty important to stand up for people who are just trying to go to school.
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean?
Sure.
So, yeah.
Cool.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was great. So if you go to the facebook.com/Monday Night Teas page, you can see it. And also Lily Twittered it from her many different Twitter accounts. But it was really, because there's a photo of the cast doing it, and then you had like a ton of people from the audience jumped up, and they jumped into the photographs. That was really cool. It was great. I happened to see it on both Twitter and on Facebook. So go check that out, facebook.com/Monday Night Teas, and see that. If you go to Brown Paper Tickets, all of the tickets are available for shows coming up here. Do we have other shows we need to plug coming up, or no?
There's stuff happening.
Okay.
Yeah,
So if
I
you,
got a
again...
luau in June. We got some fun stuff. I got a graduation show in July.
And I'm going to announce this now. May I announce this? Can I? What we just talked about, the thing you and I just talked about, the thing about later in the year, in November.
No.
Okay. Well,
It's not public yet, so no, I can't do it.
as we get closer, I will go ahead and bring that up. I'm excited to do so.
But I'm
But
going to be in Hawaii 21st.
June 2021, our friend Lily will be at the Hollywood Burlesque. The Hawaiian.
Burlesque Festival.
The Hawaii Burlesque Festival. Who's the young lady who will come here from Hawaii and dance with you? Who runs
That
it?
is the woman who runs the festival.
Right.
Violetta Beretta.
Wow.
Yeah, she's amazing, and I'm so happy to go work in Hawaii. It's just amazing.
That's great. And you're spending like 2 weeks there.
I'm going to spend 10 days.
10 days.
And then I got 4 days touring in Fresno at the end of June. If you're in Fresno,
Get out. That's what I would say to you. If you're in Fresno, get out immediately. Come back for the dates that Lily is there, and then get out again immediately. Please leave, because Fresno's an armpit. Oh, my Christ, I was not a fan of Fresno. I'm sure the festival's fantastic. But as I've said before, I did a gig in Fresno. The weekend they caught Jeffrey Dahmer, actually. I was at a gig in Fresno for Harry Capehart, and I was walking from the gig to my hotel room, and there were roaches in the street. And I even looked at the other comic and I said, if you have homeless roaches, what does that say about your infrastructure? And then we went to our room and we looked at the jail, which was like directly across the street from the hotel where we stayed. Yes. So that was great. But I was not a fan of Fresno. Perhaps I'll go back someday and have a raisin. But right now I will tell you that I am not interested in going back. Unless you have a gig, perhaps I'll book myself there. Is there a small theater that'll have me? I'll get to all of that later in the year. But right now they're going to have a burlesque festival in June, and our friend Lily is going to be there. So please go ahead and check it out. You can learn all of this stuff by following her on Twitter at twitter.com/LilyVonStupp, or go to facebook.com/LilyVonStupp and be her friend, or try to be her friend. Get in the queue to be her friend, because there are so many people who want to be her friend. And I can tell you this, she is so tired. But eventually she'll get to it. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com and go to the Joe Business page. We got all sorts of stuff there for you. We've got the Schmitty Comes Alive download. We've got the Big Angry CD that I can sign and send to you. We've got the Dirt shirt available. We've got all the tweaked audio stuff. They've got, cock ring watches. They've got autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds. They've got gear that we fantastic. We have the For the Life of Schmitty single. And there are other things kind of in play. That also, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5 of the show are available now. Year 6 is also sort of available. This is on me. I was gone for like 2 weeks, and I have to get some stuff done with our friend Ryan, the web guy. I sent him some stuff, and he pretty much got it done, and I haven't been able to review it. It's a long story, but eventually I'll announce on Facebook and stuff when year 6 is available to be ordered. Thank you so much for your inquiries, and I should have it up in the next few days, because they've, for some reason, at Barbecue House, they've decided Travis needs a couple of days off. So with those days off, I will try to parlay those into cool things working for me and doing the thing I'm supposed to be doing in life, rather than bringing people fucking okra. So I will get that taken care of. Go to the Joe Business page. Again, you can still get year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, and the UN of Evil box set if you'd like to do that. But if you'd like to wait, there will be another box set. Did I plug it last week and say what it was?
Yes.
I did. It's the Reservoir Schmidt Dog box set with a Mr. Blonde, a Mr. White, a Mr. Pink, a Mr. Blue, a Mr. Brown, and a Mr. Orange. So those will be available, and you will see the artwork, and it's going to be amazing. As soon as I can get it up, Ryan has it up, and then I have to upload the shows, which takes like 40 hours. Oh, my Christ, folks. Such a mess I've made of my life, but that's okay. We will go ahead and scramble out of it in the next few days, and everything will be taken care of. So go to the Joe Business page and buy stuff and pick up stuff. And thank you to all the people who have done that. And if you want to donate to the show, in the upper left-hand corner of the website, there's a little Schmitty. Click on him and donate. You can subscribe monthly. Right now, you can subscribe for $2 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, $25 a month. Or you can give a one-time donation, and I appreciate that. And I think there will be other donation options coming up in the coming weeks. From what I've heard, that's the whispers around Mike Schmidt, Inc. But I will let you know as soon as I know. Oh, and also, by the way, don't forget to use our Amazon portal, because we are an Amazon-associated affiliate. Is that what it? Affiliate associated? Associated affiliate? I'm not sure. Yeah, we're an associate of Amazon. But on the Joe Business page, there's a little pennant for Amazon on the wall. Click through that. You'll get to our store, which is a little vacant right now. But if you can go to the upper left-hand corner of that and click on Amazon and click through, you can buy stuff, and I get credited with it, and it helps the show, and we appreciate that very much. Thank you so much. And I actually use it a lot myself when I order stuff on Amazon, and I have been recently, and I have to tonight. As a matter of fact, guess what I have to order on Amazon, Lily?
Soap.
Well, you know, it's funny. I would normally get soap from my Bliss, which is where I get my minty soap. So that's a good guess.
Shampoo.
But you know what? I do need to get shampoo, but I have 2 bottles at my house, so I don't need
Toilet
it.
paper.
No, I buy that at the store.
Lettuce.
Lettuce seems like an odd purchase via the internet, because I could walk up the street and buy it.
A tuba.
Well, I already have a tuba, so I don't need a replacement tuba just yet. But I guess if I were to get one, I would go to Amazon.
China.
You mean plates?
Yes.
Well, I still have some plates in my house that belong to a former tenant.
A belt.
Well, no, actually, the belt is so in flux, I have to be able to try it on because I can't just purchase a belt from a remote location. I need to wear it.
Hair gel.
Interesting that you would guess that. Correct!
What?
Because I was traveling and I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, around Milwaukee, somewhere around there, and then I flew out of O'Hare. I had to fly out of O'Hare, Chicago, if you will, and so I drove to O'Hare, and I was running a skosh late, but that's okay. And I'll talk about. Well, should I talk about this? I should talk. Well, maybe I shouldn't. Well, maybe I should. You know what? Here's what happened. I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with my friend Jill, my girlfriend Jill. You guys know Jill, friend of the show. A fan of shrimp. You know Jill, tries to keep small animals alive. You know her, right? Beautiful woman in some of my photos on Facebook. Yeah, of course. So, I flew into Chicago because I get a better rate because I can fly into Milwaukee and it's closer to where she might be because I don't want to pinpoint her. I don't want to tell everybody where she is. All right, she lives right in Milwaukee at the airport. It seems strange, but she has a bungalow in a Concourse C, which is for Cookie, and of course that's good enough for me. I flew into Chicago because I got a better rate, and she has come to pick me up in Chicago, and then I drive back. We've driven to and from Chicago and Milwaukee so many times. Well, one of the last times I flew in to Chicago, I don't know if I've talked about this. When the plane hit the ground, I turned on my phone because she was going to meet me in the airport, and that's my favorite sight is to come walking down an escalator or around a corner and to see Jill sitting there with her earbuds on and waiting for me. It's amazing. So I'm so excited when the plane lands because I can turn on the phone because she actually comes in to wait for me, and it's really neat. I try to do the same for her as well. This is a few months ago. My plane lands, and I turn the phone on, and she said that she may be a little late coming to get me this time, which was fine. I totally understood. But instead, my phone came on, and there was a message from her that went, oh my God, Mike, I hit a guardrail. The car is totaled. That was the text. And then there was and it was only sent like 10 minutes before I landed. And then there was a photo of the totaled car in question. And so now I'm fucking panicked because I don't, and I have a shame thing anyway. Like she shouldn't be coming to get me, and she certainly shouldn't be coming to get me and crashing because now I fucked her car up and it's my fault. All of it's my fault. I wear all of that like a goddamn shame coat, and it's stupid. I shouldn't, but I do that right away. I blame me and I make it about me, which is dumb. She was in a car accident, so I start to worry about her, and I contact her and I text her and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "The cops are coming. Her car was totaled. It had to be towed, and then she had to go and get met, and we had to rent a car together, and then we had to go to a salvage yard." Maybe I'll tell that story at some point. But the bottom line is she totaled her car. So I was like, dude, I got to fly into Milwaukee now. Even if it's like $80 more, I can do that. We can swing it. But before those decisions were made, I'd already purchased this ticket because it was a really good rate to go into Chicago. And I told her, you're not coming to get me. I said, I can take a bus because I can actually take a bus from O'Hare to Milwaukee for, it's like fucking $30 or something. You know what I mean? And flying into Milwaukee is an extra $100 or so. Well, the $30 bus ride back and forth, I can live with that. That's great. And it means she doesn't have to fucking drive, which I just, because I can't handle making her make a 90-mile-hour or 90-mile trip. It's just dumb to come get me. It just seems silly. And she's always like, dude, I totally don't mind, because apparently she's Moon Unit Zappa. So I'm like, dude, it's okay, So this time around, I said I'll take the bus. So I took the bus up to Milwaukee. And I'll tell you about that later. Well, not later today, but maybe next week or maybe another time. But then she said, I'm driving you back to Chicago on Saturday. And I said, you don't have to do that. I can grab the bus. She's like, I'm not even listening to an argument. I will take you back. I said, okay. One thing I've learned is don't argue with Jill. So, because maybe I told you, have I told you the legend of Catfight Jill? I think I may have. Because when she gets set in her ways and she gets mad and she fucking clenches her jaw, it's like, dude, just shut up. Get out of her way. Get out of her way. Let her be. So she's like, I'm taking you to Chicago. I said, okay. Because I'm just like, yes, okay, I don't want to cause a problem. So we kind of left late Saturday. Some stuff was happening. But we get in the car and we head down there, and I'm driving. And the day before, we were supposed to stop and get gas. And we had been out on Friday, and we didn't. We wound up back at the place. And I said, well, you know what? We can get gas in the morning. So when we left to go to Chicago, I said, well, I'll stop and get gas. And she goes, well, can we just get on the road? Because she had a place to be on the way home from Chicago. I said, okay. So I got on the road, even though I wanted to stop and get gas. But she said, "Can we please get on the road?" And as I think I've told you, you don't want to fight with Jill. You don't want to argue with her because you're gonna lose. So I hop on the freeway and we're having a good time. Everything's fine. We're going on a ride, and then I get about 45 miles into our ride, and I go to pull off the freeway, and I just turn the turn signal on, and I start to merge over. And she goes, "Could you not just please don't stop? It's okay. I need to get to where I'm going, so it's all right. We'll just go and I'll get gas later." And as I've mentioned, with the legend of Catfight Jill, you don't want to fight with Jill. You just don't. You're going to lose. So I immediately go, "Okay," and I had to turn the signal back, and I merge back onto the freeway. And she goes, "How many miles is it until empty?" And I said, "Well, right now I think it was like 120 or something like that." And I'm like, "But we're still not at the airport, and you're gonna have to turn around." She goes, "Ah, it's fine. It's not a problem." Now, those of you who listen to the show may recall an incident, a year and a half ago, maybe, when Jill refused to get gas in her car when I was in it. And she's like, "Oh, I totally know how long it takes. It doesn't matter. I can actually time it. I know. I right down to the last mile. I know when I absolutely need to get gas." And I worry about things, and I freak out, and I sit there. And so I did. I just brooded in her fucking passenger seat. This is like a year and a half ago, waiting to run out of gas. And I'm just like, I'm not pushing this car. I mean, if I have to push this car, I'm going to be fucking pissed. But we can just stop and get gas. Just fucking get gas. And she refused because, Catfight Jill, set in her ways. She knows what she's doing. And she turned out to be right. We made it to a gas station. We gassed up. Everything was fine. So that was fine. So in this car, but this car is a new car, this car we're driving, because again, she totaled the car from before that she had a reasonable idea of when the gas would run out. So we're driving. And so for the third time, I say, "Hey, we should probably get gas." She goes, "I'll get it on the way back." I go, "I know, but if we get it now, because then I can pump it." Because, again, it's a shame thing where I just want to pump her gas. She shouldn't fucking have to pump her own gas. She's a woman. And then she just goes, "No, it's fine. I've got to get back." And I said, "Okay, let's not argue with Catfight Jill." I get to O'Hare Airport, and it says it's 100 miles to empty. Milwaukee's 90 miles away. And I said, "It says 102 miles to empty." She goes, "I'm fine." I said, "You're sure?" She goes, "Yeah." I go, "Okay." So I got my stuff out because, again, I don't argue with Catfight Jill. I grab all my things, and I sit there and I say, like, the longest fucking goodbye of all time because I hate saying goodbye to her. She gets out, I hug her, and I walk backwards into the airport, watching her turn into a dot on the fucking horizon, wishing I could just run after her. Get on the plane. I went to fucking security. Dude, they had one dude working securities. I don't get it. Because I was in the fast fucking American Airlines gold level flyer. Did I mention I'm a gold level flyer? I go over there, and there's two separate lines. There's the TSA pre and then our line. And there's only one dude, like an Officer Switek or some fucking Chicago name. Awful. So I get through to check all my luggage. And mind you, I've been traveling a lot with my same shaving kit. They fucking all of a sudden they yell bag check. And I'm like, and I'm already late, because my plane boards in 15 minutes. And then so I'm like, I'm actually running kind of late. They go, "Well, we got to do a bag check." They take my stuff. They take my shaving kit out. And she just starts rooting around in it. And, this never happens in any other airport. It happens in O'Hare. So she fucking turns around and she goes, "You know what? We got to throw these away unless you want to check your bag." She's got a tube of my close-up toothpaste. And she's got my fucking hair gel. My pomade loose ends Redken hair gel, which was fucking $15 and then $5 with shipping on goddamn Amazon. And I looked at her and I go, "You are fucking kidding me." Because I was late and I was not happy, and I don't understand it anymore. Dude, it's fucking toothpaste. It's toothpaste and hair gel. And also, here's the thing: if it's a fucking rule and it applies in every goddamn airport, that's fine. I guess I understand it. Maybe. But, it's been 13 years since 9/11. And I don't know if anyone has brushed a pilot's teeth to death or moosed a plane into a fucking building. So it's bad enough I'm half fucking undressed with my goddamn pockets outturned like the Monopoly guy, and he's fucking poor and just lost a beauty contest or whatever the fuck. But you've got my belt, you got my fucking shoes, you got everything, and I'm standing there like a dumbass waiting to just fucking get on a plane and get the fuck out of that city, and you're gonna throw away my hair gel and my fucking toothpaste. Because again, any other airport I've traveled, that nobody says a fucking word. Nobody says a word. They let it go right through. But she pulls it out, and I go, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And luckily, they didn't fucking beat the shit out of me at that point and throw me in airport jail. She just looked at me and she goes, it's stupid. And I go, it is. It's hair gel. And I go, if you want, I will put it in my hair and put it in my mouth right now. And she goes, no. She goes, you got to check your bag or we got to throw it away. And I go, you're joking. I go, you know I got it here, right? You can look. I flew here from another airport. I've flown in other airports and nobody says a word. Nobody says a word. And again, you're pleading it on deaf ears as she's just standing there with her fucking Rent-A-Cop badge and she's holding a handful of my $20 fucking hair gel and my close up. And it's just like, dude, really? Why don't you just fucking tear up all the money in my goddamn fucking wallet? So weak fucking sauce. And she goes, well, look, do you want to check your bag? I go, no, fucking throw it away. And of course, because I'm the best, I grabbed my bag and I zipped it up and I threw it. I walked over and I just launched my fucking bag over to the bench to sit down and put my shoes and my belt on. Because I'm great. And so I did it and nobody said anything to me. Because again, even they admitted it was stupid. And I got on my plane and everything was fine. And I texted Jill and she texted me and everything was great. And then I landed in Los Angeles and I turned on my phone and I didn't have a text from Jill, which I thought was weird. And then I went to Facebook and I found out why. Jill ran out of gas in Milwaukee. And posted on Facebook, I'm stranded here. Can anyone help me? Because God forbid you text your boyfriend and tell him that you ran out of gas or that you're... No, you immediately, please go to Facebook and tell the world that your boyfriend is a simpleton who didn't make sure you had enough gas in your car and can't take care of you. And I understand it has nothing to do with that. I know, but it doesn't matter because in my tiny brain, I make it about me because I want to protect her. I want to help her. I want to make sure things are fine. I wanted to take care of her. And also, I told her 3 fucking times to put gas in her car. Are you kidding me? And so, all of her friends are like teasing her because she's well known, I guess, for having car stuff happen. She bonked the chrome out of her grill. Dude. I got to get her to move here. I told her, I go, you know what? You're moving here and just buying a bike. That's it. I said, grab 5 bikinis and a dress and I'll buy you a bike and you will just stay here and just ride on the beach. That's it. That's all you have to do the rest of your life. You don't need a car ever again. And I got to admit, I think I'm winning her over. I think I'm actually winning her over at this point. Because when you're stranded in fucking Milwaukee, and she said no cops came, and then finally her friend brought her some gallons of gas or whatever the fuck, and she said also every light in the car came on, like a Christmas tree, like check engine and oil and all of it came on. Like it went fucking bananas. Because this is her first time with the new car. She runs out of gas. She's fucking sitting there, and I'm reading it again on Facebook, and I'm like, come on, really? So then I just texted her, and I said, I just saw your post on Facebook. I'm not going to say anything. But, dude... And then we talked about it today, and she's just like, I love you. And I go, I know, but you can't. You've got to put gas. She goes, I know, I love you. And I go, I know you know. But you can't be running out of gas. You got to make sure there's gas in the car. She goes, I know, I love you. I know, all right, that's fine. I'll stop bringing it up. But dude, seriously? And then fucking a friend of the show, Erica, picks me up at the airport, and I'm dealing with, Jill, and I'm texting her. I'm going, I hope you're safe. I hope you're all right, and everything's fine. And I get in Erica's car. She picked me up from the airport. Her gas light is on. Her little, pump is all lit up. And I go, hey, you need gas. She goes, oh, I'm okay. I know exactly. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Are you trying to recreate, some bullshit? What are you doing? Just put gas in your goddamn car. You know you're coming to the airport to pick me up. You know how much I hate it. You listen to the goddamn show, Erica. What are you doing? So then we drive from the 405. I'm like, can we get gas? No. Should we stop and get gas? No, I'm okay. Oh, my God. Finally, she takes me off, and she's got to drop me off at the dealership to get my car, and I'll talk about that next week. But she's got to drop me off there to get my car from the dealer, and I go, can you go get gas now? Would you go get some gas? She goes, yeah. I go, good, because the second I walk out of this car, I'm not responsible for what happens anymore. I can't do this. I can't be warning women on every coast to go ahead and make sure their cars are gassed up. I'm not the gas fairy. I wish I was. I would wear a cute little outfit and I'd fly in on wings and I'd make sure your cars were constantly on F instead of E. Nobody likes E. I fucking hate E. Just be on F. That's all you gotta do. Be on F. It makes things great for everybody, right? Dude. This show starts as a tiny snowball, and at the end, the hundreds are dead at the bottom of a ravine. I mean, I get that. Believe me, if there's any show in the history of the world that does not need to be transcribed for posterity, it's this one. I like times. I like when nobody can see the seams. I like when I'm able to kind of just, fly with the bees wherever. When I have to actually stop the bees and ask for directions, that's not fun. I just like unleashing the bees, but when the bees have to stop in mid-flight and we all have to kind of look at each other and bust out a fucking map, that's not fun at all. I want to saddle up these bees and ride, goddammit! I'm done.